Here we have a 1964.5 Mustang hardtop. It's a 260, originally a 260 V8 with a Cruise-O-Matic. Now has a correct 5-bolt 289 and still has the Cruise-O-Matic transmission. It's got a real straight body on it. Still has the correct 64.5 hood and headlight buckets. Overall it's pretty rust free. The floors, trunk, cowl are all solid. There is some rust in the right quarter. Down here, down low, and some in the front of the wheel there. You can see the left quarter is real nice. The wheel houses are nice. Maybe there's a couple real small bubbles there. There are some bubbles in the front of the driver's door. You can see there. The trunk drop-off. Trunk is nice inside. The trunk drop-offs are clean. Wheel wells are nice. Floors are nice, original. I'll show underneath the car in a bit. The store's pretty good. Just a couple tiny bubbles right there. That might just be in the paint. It was originally skylight blue, painted Wimbledon white, obviously with the stripes. Paint is maybe 5 years old. It's driver quality. It's real presentable, but it's got chips and it's certainly not perfect. It runs, it drives, it's got factory power steering, and it's had original style disc brakes added to it. It does run, however the original 260 seized up last year. The car was driven daily actually until last year when the original 260 blew up. Had a correct 5-bolt 289 put into it. However, it was just a used motor. However, the flex plate was either bent pulling out the original 260 or installing the 289. Not sure which, but I unfortunately went to bolt up the flex plate last and didn't realize it until the very end, and now I'm not able to fix it right now. So I'm just going to try and sell it the way it is. It does run. I'll start it in a little bit, but it does make noise, and you can hear the flex plate, and you can certainly see from underneath that it's bent. And so it really just need to unbolt the transmission, slide it back, replace the flex plate, and it would be ready to go. But at least right now it runs well enough to get it onto a transporter. Engine compartment's real clean. No rust on the tops of the aprons. Shock towers look good. Has been converted to a dual reservoir master cylinder for safety purposes, but other than that it's all stock. 2-barrel carb. Still has the exhaust manifolds. Still has the 64 intake, all the correct, you can see it's got the correct timing cover, 64 timing cover with the oil filler. It was converted to a 1-wire alternator, and I do not have the original generator. You can see headlight buckets and the hood. And this headlight bucket, you can see the bevels there that match the hood. Front bumper has some, they look pretty good, but you can see the chrome is starting to get bubbles in it on that area right there. They're, again, driver quality. It's the kind of car that you could really, if you fix the flex plate, you could just drive it the way it is and restore it later. It looks real nice, but certainly not perfect. It will need tires. The tires are pretty old, and it actually has a spare you could see on the right rear because the original tire was going flat, but it will need tires. Take a look in the trunk. It's real solid. See, it's real solid in the trunk drop down lower quarter. Start it up here. I can just kind of hear the flex plate on the deceleration, but you can see how the car is shaking. It's obviously vibrating because it's bent. Sometimes it sounds worse than others, but I definitely wouldn't recommend driving it the way it is. You do have to jiggle the key sometimes a bit to get it to work. I'd probably replace the ignition switch, but electrical works. The turn signals, windshield wipers. It's got the 2-speed heater that works. Got an aftermarket AM/FM. It's installed in the factory hole. With the cassette. It does have the original AM radio in the trunk. See the original, still has the original data plate in place. The interior needs some work. The passenger seat the driver's seat has been reupholstered. I have new matching upholstery for the passenger seat. I don't have new upholstery for the rear seat, and it really probably could use it. It doesn't quite match the new upholstery, so we need to order up some rear seat upholstery. Carpet is looking worn. Steering wheel has a crack. I don't see any cracks in the dash pad. It does look a little bit aged, weathered. Headliner needs to be replaced. Typical stuff. Obviously, interiors on these cars are very inexpensive, but it would be okay for a driver, but you'd probably want to fix it up a bit. Take a look underneath. There is some rust underneath the battery there. See the disc brakes. Floor pans look original, look real good. Don't see any rust. Frame rails look good. Good inside the wheel wells. Trunk drop off. Frame rail, everything back here looks clean. Drop off on this side looks good. So just the frame rail. That's the original style transverse muffler. Passenger side floor looks good as well. Frame rail looks good. Overall, this would make with a little bit of work, it'd make a really good driver. Having the 289 and the power steering, disc brakes, everything you want really on one of these to make it a good driver. Very presentable. Does have plenty of imperfections in the paint, but make a great driver for now until you get around to restoring it.